Hey, I'm Mando Fresco, and welcome to Mando and Friends, presented by Verizon. Today, I am with a very talented actor, one who I am a big fan of, JJ Soria. JJ, what's up, man?
Appreciate it, bro. What's going on?
Dude, when I think about you, I think about just your hustle, your work ethic, man. It's just like you're always working, man. You're always on the go, always got something going on. Where was that? Does that?
It's a foundation.
Come from?
It's part of my foundation, what I built on. Like, as a matter of fact, when I got into acting, this wasn't my dream. Like I told you earlier, this wasn't my dream. I wanted to be a professional athlete. I saw myself playing baseball or fighting or something. But when I was in that acting class in college, in community college, I was like, oh wait, I can make a living telling stories. I think I have an interesting look, to say the least. And if I just put forth the same work ethic that I did towards athletics, towards this, I'll figure the rest out. That was I've always been pretty confident. So that work ethic that I just carried it over from athletics into this. So it's the foundation of who I am. You know, that's what I believed in. I believed in my work ethic, not my talent. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, I'll work hard and figure this shit out. Just jump in the deep end of the pool, and let's go. You know, of course, I may almost drown a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, I'll have my slips and falls, whatever. But I'll get to where I'm going. That's my mentality. But like, you know, I was saying, other people I admire for their work ethic are Frank Grillo and The Rock. I've actually seen, like, I worked with Frank Grillo, and every morning, boom. Ryan Quanten, who's another good friend of mine, is a brother to me. Just people that I've seen that are successful that I have considered successful, have tremendous work ethic. So, you know, speaking of all those gentlemen, they wake up, at least, I mean, like, from what I know personally from Frank and Ryan, they're up in the morning. The first thing they go work out. You know, even like on days there was days where I didn't get, like, I got up and I was like, damn, man, I need today. I need a little more rest. But then I look out the window and I'd see like Ryan running out on the beach getting ready to go work out, or I see Frank on his way to the gym. You know, and like clockwork. So, and you know, there's my work ethic. So, it's a testament to success. I think that's what gets you to where you're going a lot of times.
You've had some breakthrough roles with like The Oath, Army Wives, recently with Gentefied, which I'm a big fan of, and they're all different types of roles, and but I feel like there's a little bit of you like injected into
every character. Every character I portray or create. I don't want to say play because I play for real. Every character I play is me as that. Maybe I'll change up an accent or something if I need be, but every character I play is me as that, and that's what makes my characters unique to me. You know, like I own them, I create them. So I take the elements of what they give me. Like I say, I look at acting in a way as I'm a chef. Right? They're cooks in the kitchen. They create this. They give me. They're like Blue Apron. They give me the ingredients, right? And I'm like, all right, here, I see what you're giving me. I know. Let's see what I can create with this. And then sometimes, I mean, I have my own ingredients in my cabinet. Yeah. So maybe I toss in some cayenne pepper or some cumin or whatever I want to season it. I taste it. I like it, and then I present it to them and see if they dig it. And we collaborate and see if we're going to work together or not. So. That was just kind of went on a rant, but that's how I work. Every character is me as that.
Yeah. Also, congrats on The Flight Attendant.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Season 2, you are joining the cast, man. How excited are you for that?
I'm stoked. It's gonna be a fun character. It's another super talented team production, and I'm excited to share what I have to offer and kill it.
Now, I want to talk about Gentefied because that show is about to kick off again for season 2. Season 1, I loved, and it kind of left us in a little cliffhanger. We had Annie Gonzalez here for our season 1.
My baby mama.
Yeah, your baby mama. Then you have a baby, you know,
Yeah.
spoiler alert. But if you've seen, you know, the trailer, then you know
If you haven't seen season 1, what are you doing with your life? Go watch it.
But yes, so you have you and Annie's character. You guys are having a baby in season 2, among other things.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about season 2?
Well, I can tell you about season 2. I just saw it, and it's more mature. It's, in my opinion, like there's remember it's a dramedy, so it's drama and comedy. But I feel like it's heavier this season because of the storyline where we go, but within it there's humor. I really think the story will resonate, especially amongst our community,
Yeah.
right? The Latino, Latinx, however you want to refer to it, community. That will really just resonate with your heart and pull at your heartstrings. I think this season really pulls at the heartstrings more than even last season.
Yeah. What do you like about that character, Eric?
Wow. I mean,
What do you like most?
on the other side of it, now that I've done it, it's that so many people say everyone has a cousin Eric, right? So I'm proud that the character resonates with people. It's familiar to people. He's flawed, but he's trying his best.
Yeah.
Right? He's trying to figure it out.
And isn't that all of us?
Yeah, that's
Right?
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How so many can relate to him. So that's his vulnerability.
Yeah.
His vulnerability, and that's something that I definitely relate to, right? I mean, the foundation of who I am. I talked about my work ethic. The foundation of actually every character I play is built off of vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's where I start, and then I build off of that.
One of my favorite things about you as a creative and as an actor is that you're funny, man. Like your comedic timing and dude, like you shine when you're doing comedy, dude. Like is that something that you see yourself doing more of?
My I would say,
Because it seems natural. I mean,
it is. I mean, because like I said again,
Yeah.
it's my instincts. I definitely trust my instincts whether it's drama or comedy or whatever genre it is. I definitely just trust my instincts. I would say I believe where I have the most to offer is, I mean, listen, man, I'm not going to deny. I believe I'm talented. That's why I got into this.
Hell
right?
yeah.
I believe I have something to offer. I didn't come into this industry to get. I got into this industry because I said, oh, I have a lot to offer this industry.
Yeah.
In storytelling.
Yeah.
Right. So use me. You know, let's fucking go to work. I really love action. The thing is, remember I told you I'm an athlete first.
Yeah.
So when I did The Oath, especially, I mean, I did Crank and other action comedies or action-driven shows. And what I love about that is I love the heart pumping. I love the hustle, the being sweaty and feeling like I earned my paycheck, right?
Yeah.
Along with the emotional aspect, the intensity of something like The Oath, where I was just thinking about that character on the ride over here because on my playlist, one of my songs that I used to prep to get ready for the role or for a scene came up, and it just pulled at my heart, and it just reminds me of everything I went through emotionally for that character. So I really marinate in whatever I'm feeling. I put on a song, and if it's heavy and it's painful,
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I'm a bit of what do you call it? Is that a masochist? What is that?
Yeah.
You know?
You love the pain.
Yeah, man, because that's where you get some great. The truth is always fun to watch.
Yeah.
So I put myself through it. So you asked about how does that get? Do I enjoy doing comedy? Yes. Can I see myself doing a rom-com? Yes. But I really think I have a lot more to offer the action drama genre, and that's where I feel like I'd really shine in, because that's where actually I have the most fun, because I get to exert my energy, my physicality, right? You're jumping, shooting, get down, all that.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. And then I get to emote as well.
Yeah. Would you say you're more of a introvert or extrovert?
I'm definitely an extrovert. I think I'm an extrovert. Yeah.
Yeah. When did you realize you were extroverted? I'm introverted.
Yeah.
I'm introverted.
I can see that.
You can.
Yeah. You said you're more laid back. And then, you know what's so funny is because I have those moments, and when I do, people think something's wrong with me. They go, "Was you okay? What's going on?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
I'm in my thoughts," which I have that side of me as well. But
I laugh because I've been told that too. Like,
oh yeah?
Like, hey, are you okay? Like, and even by like girls that I've been in full-on relationships, like, hey, like, is everything okay? Or hey, you're really quiet with my friends or what? And I'm like, that's just me. Like, I'm just like, do you chill, kind of lay back? Fall to
the people consider you an introvert, and you also see yourself as an introvert.
No, I don't think anyone considers me an introvert aside from myself and people that really know me.
Okay.
Do you guys consider me introverted?
No.
No one really. The thing is, naturally, I'm introverted.
Okay.
Like, if there's a group, I'm probably going to be the person that speaks the least. But I know my role, right? Like, and I've also, like, if we're in a group where it's like Hubwave related, or obviously if I'm going to host or, be on stage or whatever it is that I have to do, then I turn it on. Mm-hmm. But naturally, if I don't have to do that, I'm just lay back, chill, kind of quiet.
There was definitely a time where I guess I was an introvert to some degree, and maybe it was because of insecurity. I remember girls in high school used to always call me conceited because I wouldn't talk. I would like stand up against a pole and just chill.
I can see that.
Right?
Yeah.
And I used to always kind of...
Not that you're conceited.
No.
Just be quiet.
I'm definitely confident. And it's definitely, if you don't know me, I could totally understand if you you take it as conceited. I get it. But at the end of the day, I know who I am. So,
right.
That's all that matters.
When you're quiet, sometimes people think...
because I'm standoffish. Or,
right.
Who is he? Think he's too good? This, that, and the other. Yeah. And it's not that at all. It's just maybe more so actually the flip side. Maybe I'm insecure. Maybe I don't know enough people. So, all that part of me.
Yeah.
There's one.
Oh, bro, you're like 5 in. You haven't even realized it.
Yeah, I maybe it's from a place of insecurity, but I think where I grew up was being social and being out there. Like I used to want to make friends. I wanted everyone to be my friend. I used to give away our household fruit, and when we were on food stamps and shit, and I was still handing out our fruit and everything to the neighbors because I was trying to make friends.
Yeah. Where'd you grow up?
El Sereno.
El Sereno.
Yeah. At first 9 years of my life, that's always what I claim because that's like where I experienced the most trauma. I think the foundation. I go back to that word a lot. The foundation of who I am was created there.
Yeah.
If I could, and I did, overcome what I went through during that experience of my life, that time of my life, I could overcome anything.
Yeah.
And I feel that. And I have. So.
El Sereno, not too far from where you shot Gentefied.
Yeah, I was born. So the show takes place in Boyle Heights, and I was born in Boyle Heights at White Memorial Hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, it is a trip.
Full circle.
Dude, total full circle. There was one scene where, if you can recall, we go to get her ultrasound, the baby's ultrasound.
Yeah.
Right? Remember, I rush in and make it late, and I get there, and after the ultrasound, we're walking out, and by the car, there's this they've used this steel in articles and stuff, a lot of her grabbing my face and telling me something. Right there is right outside White Memorial, and I thought that scene was isn't just impactful to me as JJ, because here we were doing a scene where we just came out of having getting an ultrasound of our baby, and this is where I was born.
That's crazy.
So I had a moment. We pulled up, the van dropped us off, and I just had a moment by myself looking up there, and I'm like, totally full circle. Like, I was, you know what I'm saying? I was born here.
That's wild.
And now we're doing a scene that has a baby.
That's nuts, man. What, growing up in a Latino household, in a Mexican household, my family's Mexican too. Were your parents receptive of you going into the entertainment industry, becoming an actor and all that?
Well, first of all, like I come from my mom and dad aren't together. So I have a stepdad, and who's I consider that's my dad. Like I call him my dad. I give him the respect for that. He took on someone else's kid, me, which is something I wouldn't do. So I got the utmost respect for him. And quite honestly, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, but I got to say this.
Please.
I truly believe I wouldn't be here. I'd either be in jail or I'd be dead if he didn't get me out of the neighborhood that I was in. Just because of. I check my track record now. Like, I came from a loving home, and I still got almost caught up in. So, point I'm trying to get to is that my birth father, wasn't involved in my life. He actually got deported, probably for the betterment of myself, because of stuff that he was getting into and whatnot at the time. So my mom and my stepdad, and my soon-to-be sister, ended up going out to the San Fernando Valley, which is where he was from, right?
Yeah.
And raised out there. To answer your question, they actually went on vacation, and they came back. My mom always says, we went on vacation, he came back, and he was an actor. Like, I was doing extra work and all this. And yeah, they told me to have a backup plan. That's the answer to your question. They told me to have a backup plan, and, they were concerned. Of course. They may have not said it, but I could see they said it without saying it so much, right?
Yep.
And and my perspective on it at that time was, it's okay. They need to see it. They need to see it, and I understand that. I was, don't get me wrong, I was a little salty, because you want the people that raise you to believe in you.
Yeah.
And I know, and I understood that their concern or their fear or their lack of faith in me was just concern and love, right?
Yeah.
They just want the best for me. And knowing that I was taking a risk, it says it on my arms, life is a gamble and I'm all in.
Yeah,
so that's how I approach life. And I'll always bet on me. So that's what I did.
How long did that last for them to be like, oh, okay, he's doing it?
Probably when I just booked a flight attendant.
So the entire time. It'd be like that. It'd be like that sometimes.
No. I don't know, man. I just know my mom's super proud, and they're super proud. This guy at work came up to me and said this and that, or I was talking about when people have. And she's always promoting me at the grocery store. If I'm with her, oh yeah, you should check out my son and this and that. And
he's on Gentefied. Premieres November.
Yeah, right. She's my number one promoter.
I love it.
So the support is definitely there now. Listen, they've always supported me, right? They were always there at my sport functions that I was into. Even when I was on the sideline at Kennedy High School, I was like I told you, I was the best cheerleader with a helmet and pads. I practiced with the best of them, but I sure as hell didn't get the playing time. But they were still there in the stands, for that time the times that I did play. So they have been very supportive over my life, and they just needed a little convincing.
Yeah, I bring that up because I at 18 years old, I started in radio, and forever like you said, they always supported me, but it was still I would get questioned hey, maybe what if you get another job, 5 years in, even 5+ years in, my dad would be like, mijo, agarra otro trabajo, and ya no quiero que, I don't know if he don't want me to stay up late or whatever it was. I got it for years and years and years. After having my own radio show, like #1 in LA, and this and that. My dad was still like, I don't know. It wasn't, and I've said the story a few times, but it wasn't until I took my dad backstage to meet Vicente Fernandez at a show where he was like, okay, mijo, está bien.
Well, I mean, dog, what the fuck? Like,
but it wasn't, that was like 6-7 years in.
It just took meeting Vicente Fernandez, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that'll co-sign anybody, you know?
Right. And anybody, anywhere.
Yeah.
To do anything. Yeah, no, it was a struggle, man, in that sense, to get like that cosign, to get that full support. And I'm gonna say full support because at first it was like a soft support, you know, like, okay, like whatever that it is that I needed, like it would be there and it would show up. But that full support didn't come, man, like way over like past 5 years of me doing it professionally. So that's why I asked you, because I know it, you know, sometimes traditional Mexican households, and I say that and I share this because I know there are a lot of people, creatives, that are our age background, or are you know, coming up, they're younger and are going through that same thing now, where their toughest critics are our parents, you know, and it's tough to do something that you love sometimes when you're fighting your parents' support.
Yeah, I think specifically I can remember it was after Army Wives, after I did Army Wives. So that was 2011, 2012, something like 2012, I think, 2013. And I got into acting and literally the first class I took in community college was spring of 2003. And then got Taft-Hartley in a Levi commercial in 2004, at the end of 2004, and then started doing TV appearances beginning of 2005 and chipping away, right? So about the same thing, maybe how much time it takes. 5 to 7 years before they really start coming around. You know, you know, you get a few paychecks.
Yeah.
So yeah, just around that time, and the reason I can remember this is because definitely, you know, those times where you have your own doubts, you don't get a job, you know, and that you're really working for and you really believe in yourself, it didn't work out. Just those moments of frustration, and there was, you know, I could recall walking out of my mom's house and being like, something along the lines of talking about quitting, but not in my heart of hearts. I know I would never quit.
Right.
But it's just frustration. Yeah. Right. And her saying, well, you got this far, you know, you come this far, right? Yeah. Not going to be like, you got this, Jay, or everything. Just well, you've been doing it. So keep going. And so that shows, you know, that they had the belief in me and supported me.
Yeah. Whenever I have like younger team members here at our Hubwave, you know, media team, you know, early 20s, sometimes a lot of them are going through something very similar. Whenever I meet their parents, I feel like a teacher, you know, like you would go on what was it, like a teacher conference, and then they would say, oh, pues, you know, Armando le está yendo muy bien, right? Like you're like letting the parents know that their kids doing well. I find myself doing that with my like younger team members with their parents. Whenever I do get to meet them, I'm like, hey, so and so is very talented, very hardworking. Like, keep supporting them. When in reality, sometimes I know that they're not fully supporting them, but I'm like, hey, keep supporting them. They have a bright future ahead. And I think, as you know, if there are any, you know, Latino parents watching this, like, support your kids in everything they do. Absolutely. Whether they're, you know, 35 or 15 or younger or older, but you get the point. Always support, man. It goes a long way.
I think it's also important to tell your younger team members and just the community in general, the youth in general, to also, I always say this: seek peace within yourself and understanding of others. So understand that it's not so much that they don't believe in you; it's that they don't believe in themselves that they could have been able to do it. They had the ceilings that they put to themselves is like, oh man, how are they gonna do it when I couldn't do it? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
They just can't. They don't have the vision. But then that's where they're limited, right? You know, so they just need. That's why I said they just need to see. So if you understand that and understand like they're coming from a place of love,
Yeah.
they're coming. Once you understand that, and you know it's your journey that you're on. Like, oh, okay, I understand, mom and dad, they love me. They weren't able to experience that, but I know I can. You know, I know I can. So it just takes some time, and just keep believing in yourself. Trust your gut. Trust your gut. Trust your instincts. If your gut and your instincts say that you should try a different avenue, then go ahead, try a different avenue. Maybe it's time to try something else. But those times where I was frustrated or shit happened, I was like, my gut just says I got something to offer this industry, even if they don't even get it yet. I know I have what it takes.
Yeah.
You know.
And just going back to the whole parent thing, you know, they just want the safe route, you know, and for their kids. And I know sometimes, you know, I didn't really understand that, you know, I didn't understand that's, it's not that they didn't believe, is it that they didn't understand also, you know, it's like they didn't really understand your vision and your passion.
They didn't see it.
And all they thought about was, you know, the safe route. So, you know, going back to believing in yourself, I mean, you know, it seems like you are self-fueled, and we're talking about I'm early on when you were.
Matter of fact, one of my back to sports, Armand Seals was a captain linebacker of our team. I think it was like all city or something like that, and he's a big black dude, buff. I wanted to look like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just looked over at me one time just during drills.
Yeah.
I think he heard me talking to myself or whatever, and he goes, "You're self-motivated." And that little statement from years ago still, you know, sticks with me. Like he saw that. He saw me. You know, that's what I've always been. I've always been self-motivated. Come on, motherfucker, let's go. Be part of me. But yeah, that's. I've always been driven and passionate, and that's me.
Yeah, I love that, man. I want to talk about when we initially connected, which was around Philly Brown.
Sorry, real quick.
Yes.
Behind that, I would say, I've asked myself, why am I this way? Why am I so passionate and driven, and believe in myself so much? And because go back, like I said, those first 9 years of my life that I lived in El Salero, if I could overcome those things in life, being molested, head trauma, like my dad hit my mom at a super early age, 4 years old, but having an impact to me to the point that I didn't use my Soria, the last name that I've been given, not using it all through school, using my mom's maiden last name because I had that daddy issue or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, if I could overcome all that stuff, that's real life shit, I could overcome anything.
Yeah. I did see you posted something recently about not using your pop's last name.
Yeah.
Your biological dad's last name for a while.
All through school. The only time I ever used his name in school was to get my diploma, because they told me that if I didn't use it, it wouldn't be a legal document.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, okay, so I got to go by Soria now. And I think I've done well for that name.
Yeah, no, hell yeah, man. No, that's so. I want to talk about now the, you know, your. Do you see yourself? Would you like to have a future family of your own and kids? Do you see yourself with that?
I don't know, man. I like I said earlier, freedom is me spreading my wings and flying has always been my priority. If I do choose to, I would be a great father. I've worked with, and I don't just say that, because I'm great at everything. No, I've worked with children all my life.
Yeah.
You know, I worked with special needs, physically disabled, mentally disabled children for many, many years, or however you want to refer to it. I don't say it with any spite, obviously. I love all those kids that I worked with. They taught me more than I could ever teach them. I worked for the LAUSD from the time I was 19 till like 27.
Oh, wow.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And before that, you know, just even besides mowing lawns and I was like babysitting, you know, doing whatever I could to make some money. And so I've worked, my point is to say I've worked with kids all my life. To say that I have a strong understanding of what it takes to raise a child,
yeah,
and how much time and investment that is. And I am very selfish with my time, and I have every right to be. As far as I know, I only got one shot at this thing called life.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna enjoy it as much as I can, and I fulfill myself as a mentor and with children and adults, matter of fact, because I share my wisdom that I gain over this lifetime, my 40 years of existence that I've been here and that I've been learning. I share it with anyone I can, and that way I feel fulfilled. And I've impacted, and I'm not trying to toot my horn, I'm just telling the truth.
Yeah.
I've impacted, and I'm very proud of it. I've impacted so many youth, you know, so many people. And that's a great thing about social media, is I've been able to use that.
Yeah.
People hitting me up in my DMs and this and that. I mean, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. Thank goodness I have the energy that I have. Call me, maybe I'm a vessel. Maybe has nothing to do with me at all. Maybe it's, you know, I'm just being used that way. And if it is, right on, cool. But it's gave me a very satisfying feeling to be that. And so, again, to answer your question, long way of answering your question, it's not totally out of the cards. It's just, if I do it, it's going to be, people say, well, it's never the right time. Maybe not for you, but I know when my right time will be. And when I do, and when that time comes, then I'll do it.
Yeah. Do you feel as a Mexican American, as a Latino, there's pressure?
Of course.
An immense amount of pressure to get married and have kids and everything.
You know how my mom, one time she came over my place I was staying at once before, and she comes to my room, Joseph. And when she says Joseph, you know.
Oh man, bro,
everyone knows me by JJ, right? But when it's Jose Julian, Joseph Julian, then it's serious or super serious. I'm in trouble, but she's Joseph.
Something serious.
When are you gonna have kids? You know, stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, that's about my reaction. I was like, Mom, don't even start. Look, you got to experience it twice. Not once, but twice. You had 2 kids.
Yeah.
You want another one? Go adopt. You know, you want to go play with someone else's kids. But that's not my responsibility. It's not my responsibility to provide a child for them to take care of. So that's how I dealt with that.
So it wasn't tough for you. It wasn't like, Mom.
Not for me necessarily. I could understand where she was coming from, but you're not going to put that on me.
Yeah.
You want to go have another kid.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not, because you're going to take care of that kid or play with your playtime with that kid for as much as you play with him. That's my child. I got to support him. I got to, you know, do everything that comes with that. So yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. No, I asked that, man, because I feel like as a Latino, as a Mexican American myself, there is a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. You know.
Well, take a note out of my book. I just told you how to do it.
There is a lot of pressure, and I think it's great that you're able to kind of, you know, say, hey, you know, whenever it's my time, if it does happen, you know, then that's when it will happen.
It's really important that you do that. I'm not just saying this stuff. I've thought about this stuff long and hard.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely considering that pressure and understanding that. Okay, let's say you let that influence your decision. You have a child not only just purely because you want to have a child, but because your parents want to have a grandchild and all this and the other. Think about that child. What kind of situation are you bringing him or her up in, right? Is it the most advantageous position for them? If you're back on your bills, and you're just trying to do it because the clock's ticking, and whether it be their clock or yours, right? Because they're not going to be here for such longer because, you know, your ability to have them is cutting short.
Yeah,
that's not the reason to have a child. I mean, not for that child.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about. I want to provide. Best believe when I bring a child into this world, if and when I do, it's gonna be primed for success, because I'm gonna build a great nest for him or her, and I'm gonna support the shit out of them in whatever they want to do, and they're gonna shine.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that makes a lot of sense. And again, man, I applaud you that you're able to kind of unplug yourself from the pressures of society and cultural norms and things like that.
Yeah, bro. I've been working on that for a long time. That's what it is. It's also, I say, like, I am the truth. I always say that, and I live that. The reason I'm able to do what I do on screen is because my ultimate acting class. I don't even like being called an actor, because I say I play for real. It's never an act.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever I'm going through, I'm really feeling. I commit as much as I can. Obviously, I know when I'm shooting guns, it's fakes, blanks, whatever. But as much as I can commit to that moment, I do it. So in life, I commit to telling the truth. I commit to being transparent.
Yeah.
And if I could do that in life, tell you about how I've been molested, tell you about all this shit that, my truth.
Yeah.
It's that much more easier to go into a character. And every character I play is me as that, in that form. That's what you see as the truth. That's why when I speak, man, it doesn't even seem like he's doing dialogue. And it's because I'm coming from my own truth.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
So I might cut you off, but like you were talking about society norms and everything, and that how that's incorporated is, I thought about, analyzed. I've always been an analyzer, and I think critical thinker, if you will. Understanding why, or trying to understand why society views what they are, and what are these pressures, and is that really what I believe?
Yeah.
Do I think that you should have a child by 30 and settle down and all this, that, and the other? Or do I believe different? And why do I believe it? So all those different thoughts and questions in dealing with societal norms and pressures, I've been brainstorming and critical thinking, for lack of a better way to put it. I've been thinking about that stuff all my life.
Right. No, that's powerful. That's powerful, man. And whether you're ready at 20 or 25, 30, 35, whatever age, that's how it should be. It shouldn't be when people start pressuring you.
Yeah,
you don't do something.
Don't be pressured into making decisions.
Yeah. I want to talk about going back to Philly Brown. When you and I first connected, the Egyptian Theater. It was a screening. You were there with Gina Rodriguez. You played opposite of her character. Yeah. What would you say that film in particular, Philly Brown, meant to you?
It meant an opportunity to work with my homegirl, Gina. So she hit me up. She's like, Jay, you got to play this character. Like, they were auditioning all these rappers and stuff for the role. And I looked at it, because she just told me about it. And I go, all right, well, send me the material. I'll look at it. And I looked at it, and he's an asshole. And I was like, Gina, this is what you think of me? She was like, no, but I know you kill it. And I was like, you're right, but. And I went in. At first I was like, well, see if they'll offer it to me. They weren't gonna offer it to me. So I went in and I auditioned and did my thing. And I knew what I could do with this character. I knew what I had to offer this character. And so that's what it was for me. It was an opportunity to work with my homegirl, and that's what it was.
The late Jenny Rivera is in that film. Did you get a chance to meet her?
Briefly at an awards. I think it was the Imagen Awards or something. I met her briefly, but I didn't work with her.
Oh, nice. Yeah, she's definitely was a legendary, artist, and she was great in that in that film, man.
She came from a place of truth too, when she was performing.
Yeah. How important is it to come from a place of truth as a
for me, it's everything.
In your craft.
For me, it's everything, because I'm not a good liar. So that's why I don't
So you
lie.
just keep it 100.
That's it. That's why I try to keep unfiltered, and I may say stuff that you may not agree with and not vibe with, but I'm okay with that because that's just who I am, and that's, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. That's not to say that I'm not empathetic. I don't consider other people's feelings and all that, this, that, and the other. But what I'm telling you is what my truth. You know, what you see is what you get, so to speak. And a lot of times, that is what people connect with, and they end up putting down their guard and start opening up the same way. People say, man, you know, like, I've heard this so many times, you know, I've never told anybody this, or, yeah, that specifically, you know, and then they end up telling me whatever they got going on in their life or whatever's on their mind. And it's because they see someone in front of them that isn't guarded and have an agenda or trying to get something. Mm-hmm. I'm just am who I am, and they see no judgment, right? And it's important for me to be truthful in front of the camera because it's important to me to be truthful in life. And if I'm doing my job correctly, that's what I'm supposed to be trained. I'm supposed to be trained a piece of life in that story, right? And I do. Telling the truth seems to work.
What would you say is the biggest highlight of your career so far?
The biggest highlight of my career.
Personal highlight.
For me, I guess that's a lot of gems, but The Oath was a gem for me. A very special moment because I got to, again, it was something that I'm running around, I'm shooting guns, like I'm being able to emote. We filmed in Puerto Rico, which I love Puerto Rico.
Not a bad place to shoot.
I would live there myself. So that one was a highlight for me. Did 2 seasons on there. Excuse me. But there's others. Hamlet 2 was another highlight because the role I ended up doing, I wasn't the role I initially auditioned for. And then in the audition, they're like, you know, how about this role? And it was a bigger role. And I read for it. And then it was the first time that I had a lead in a movie. It was the first time that I got flown out of state. It was the first time I ended up going to New York and we're filming in Times Square. Like, it was so many firsts for me. So that's a big highlight. First time I had gone to Sundance, you know, or our film at the time was like the 3rd highest sold film in the history. So like being a part of something like that was really cool.
Yeah, because you've been a part of dude. You've been in a lot of shows, a few films that have been to
in theaters and stuff like that, like, you know, The Purge, that's another highlight for me because I was a fan of The Purge before being in it. So I remember the first time I saw the trailer, I forgot what movie I went to go see, but I was watching the trailer, I was like, oh, that's a dope storyline. It was, and I'm not even a big horror guy or anything, and it's more of a thriller. Yeah. And what really got me was, what the hook in me was, I bought it enough. I was like, it was just believable enough, the scenario. Mm. And I was like, I can see that happening to some degree. And I was just fascinated by that. And then when I had the opportunity to be in it, I was like, yes.
That's dope. And a few Sundance films too.
Yeah, like 5, I think, something like that.
That's crazy, dude. Congrats.
Thanks, man. It's cool. It's you know, just to be a part of productions like that is dope.
Does representation matter?
Dude, that was never my perspective on it, right? I told you, like, getting into this wasn't my dream. I didn't have this, like, short answer, yes. And I guess where it became more clear to me than ever was the reaction I got from playing Eric in Gentefied, the aftermath of it after the first season, and how many people hit me up in my DMs or came up to me on the street and saying that they saw themselves in the character or saw, yeah, so that's quite, in whether not just my character, but any of the characters in the story. And yeah, because when I read it the first time, the script, the way I described it was I was like it felt like I was peeking through the window of a piece of my life, in some way, shape, or form, right? Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of our community relate to. They saw themselves, and that's why why the representation matters. And I think from them seeing themselves on screen and them associating outside of the storyline, but as the people playing them, right? Yeah. Like myself and Carrie and Carlos and all them, considering us be successful makes them believe that they can be successful too at whatever it is in life. So I think that's where it matters. And it's you have to kind of go down that trail of thought to figure it out. But yeah, one of the things so when I read the script, I knew it was going to be a hit. My personal opinion, I could be totally wrong, but I think I have a good judgment of material. And I was like, this is going to be a hit. I went in there and I told them, this is going to be a hit whether I'm involved in it or not. But you should hire me too, because it's going to be even better. And that, like, I just saw, and it was because I saw the representation. I saw the one thing I told them, actually to my castmates, I said, I believe it's going to be successful. That was my point I was trying to get to. I believe it's going to be successful. I think it's going to do well. But the one thing I don't fully understand until after it happens is the impact it's going to have on the people. And that's sure enough how it played out. I didn't fully grasp it until I had those people hitting me up and telling me all these things, and sharing that they shed tears and this, that, and the other because they felt like they were seen. And I was like, wow. I'd never looked at it from that perspective.
Yeah.
And it had an effect on me. I was like, wow, I'm even more proud to be a part of something that does that for a community.
I want to be honest with you. When I turned that.
No, tell me lies.
I'm gonna keep it, full JJ.
All right.
When I first hit play on season 1, I was watching to see if I watch with a different eye, because I cringe when something's like super stereotypical. Mm-hmm. That show did not feel stereotypical. It was very
I'll help you out. Accurate.
It just came off natural,
Authentic.
Authentic. It came off relatable, and it wasn't one of those fully overly exaggerated, stereotypical, like, oh, let's make a Latino show, mm-hmm. right? It didn't feel like that. It felt, and I think that's why a lot of people really, connected with it, because it felt real, man. It's like, and for those that have not watched the show, do you mind like breaking it down what Gentefied is about?
Well, first of all, let me give a shout out to Marvin Limus and Linda Yvette Chavez. I always got to give the creators of the project credit. They were the ones that what's the word I'm looking for? They spawned this creation, and that was their goal. They wanted to, mission accomplished. You just said what they wanted to do. They wanted to give an authentic portrayal of what it's like being a Hispanic or Latino American, growing up in this country, and they did just that. They wanted to be authentic. They didn't want all those caricatures that we see in mainstream television a lot of times, and then we had a solid writing team. You had a great team. They put a great team around them of writers. And they just put a whole production, the whole team that they put together was solid, and had the same vision, and that's what you got.
Now, what is the story behind
the storyline,
it? And then your character?
So the storyline is about it's called Gentefied, and it's about a grandfather who has this taco shop for like the past 30 years in Boyle Heights, and it's in danger of being gentrified. And my character, Eric Morales, his basically his right-hand man, you know, grew up with him, lived in his garage. He has his, not estranged, but like the other grandson that comes from white America, Idaho, right? He's very watered down, so to speak, watered down Latino. And then you have the little creative rebel cousin, Annie, or Anna, who's there we come together as a team to support our grandfather and do whatever we can to keep his taco shop afloat.
Yeah.
Right. That's more than just the taco shop. I mean, it represents more than that to us.
Oh yeah.
It's the dream. It's
1000%.
the American dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I related, or I connected with that show because my dad is a small business owner, and I guess play the Carlos part, where you know, I wasn't really like fully within the business, and they look at me like, oh, here comes Mando, you know, doesn't want to get his hands dirty.
Too good.
You know, here. But my brother and my sister now are coming together to continue the family business, which is it's like a glass shop, a glazier, right? Like they do like storefronts and commercial buildings and all that. So it has to do with glass. I did that from 10 to maybe 20 years old, right?
So you did your time.
I did my time. And but a lot of people can relate to that. Whether it's a taco shop or a flower shop or a barber shop or a glass shop, you know,
living someone else's dream.
it's just it's powerful what you guys have done, man. And you know, it's very relatable.
Or living for someone else's dream, rather. You know, like I bring that up just to. I'm sorry to cut you off for a second, but just to say, like, they're doing it for the family. You can almost say it's for a greater good, but what kind of existence are you living if you're not pursuing your own thing, right? And I think you probably, I would say you're serving them even better by doing your own venture as opposed to, you know, let your brothers and sisters do that's their passion and they're doing it, right? And being successful with it.
Yeah.
I would dare to say you wouldn't have been as successful because your heart wouldn't have been totally in it, right? This is your passion. This is what you're doing. So, yeah, this is just thought.
No, I think everyone has. You're right. Like I think everyone has their own passion and their own, you know, hunger to do different things. Whether, you know, it's entrepreneurship or you know, entertainment or whatever it is. You know, I think that show defines sort of the American dream and the hustle and the heart of a Latino American, you know, growing up here in the U.S. And just also like updating the business of a prior generation, meaning like for me, my father created that business, and in the show, it's your grandfather created that business. Now it's you know, your character with your primos and now it's my siblings coming together to bring that business up to, you know, to 2021.
Yeah.
Because I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I'll be super transparent. My pops was probably still just a few years ago, you know, only sending faxes and using his fax machine. And it wasn't until my brother came in where, you know, everything's like email now and PDFs and what have you.
Swipe.
Yeah. You know, and you know, websites and social media and all that stuff. So I think a lot of people relate to especially like, you know, small businesses run America, you know, and small businesses.
Well, that is America. Speaking of Silva Esparada, the
like
small
that.
business that created this is another small business. Hot Rod, So I mean, I practice what I preach. You know what I'm saying? I support small business 100%. I'd rather give them my money than no. I mean, I may be hurting myself in regards to bigger companies. Now they'll still come to me because they still want the eyes on they still want that audience, so they'll still come knocking on your door. But no, I definitely am totally in support of small business, and I try to contribute to helping those people out. I like it. I like supporting small business because I feel like there's more of a connection, right? I like knowing the owner and who I'm supporting.
Yeah, for sure. Do you see yourself as an entrepreneur, or do you see yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, actually, I have my own brand that's been in my brain forever. Jaywalk, and that's I've spoken upon it on social media, that and the other, but I've yet to take the steps to creating apparel. Like I want to share my philosophy on life through apparel, through just different things. This things share my life basically. I have different ways of doing that under that brand. I just got to do it.
I think one thing that I've observed just off of social media is that you do support. JJ supports his fellow Latinos, and there's a lot of times,
even when they don't support me. It's true.
Sometimes you see talent that finds success and never looks back, right? And you have found success and you keep it real.
I want them to see that they can do it too. Anything I could do, you could do too. Like even look, man. I'm just being honest. I know I shine different a little bit, but I dare to say it's not so much that I shine different. It's that you're just not tapping into your ability to shine, right? If you believe in yourself the same way I do, if you like, what I'm saying, like get that BS you have of doubt you have in yourself. And I need to practice this even more so with my entrepreneurship, but those other ideas that I have. I believe in them, but why haven't I taken steps to make them happen? I do my best to share that energy with the community, be like, yo, man, people say, oh, you're so down to earth, or this, that, and the other. Like, unassuming. You wouldn't think, that this is what I'm doing in regards to, like, being in the industry. Because I want you to feel like you can do it, too. I want you to see that. I want you to see, you know what I'm saying? It's not out of reach.
That's powerful. And unselfish. It's easy for
I got to give that credit to my mom, though. I think that's... that the love that woman has, she's special. My mom, everyone meets my mom. Oh, she's so sweet, and she is. I'm very grateful for my mother. That love has been passed on to me in my DNA, and that's, I guess, this is my way of sharing it.
Now, this next section of the program is sponsored by Verizon. Verizon has partnered up with Oi Health to offer discounts and savings on telehealth services in tu idioma for customers and their families. And as you guys know, health, not just physical, but mental health is very important. JJ, what do you do to take care of your mental health?
So, I keep it again, I reflect on my resume, my life resume, everything that I've been through it. I'm on the other side of it. So that I always kind of have this thing where that's almost like a trigger to remind myself to stay strong, to be, keep my mind right. I have mantras. How you do anything is how you do everything. You see me write that on social media.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of quotes that I've created that I just remind myself of. Look at life through a lens of gratitude, and everything that matters will come into focus. All that stuff is how I keep my mind right. Meditating works. I say I don't do so much a certain time, even though I did like a little bit of this morning. You can start by setting aside a time where you focus on meditating. Everything's gonna be good today. You can, focus on what to be grateful for. You could do that. Or you could build up to a point where I'm at, where I live in meditation. I'm always focused on. It's always in the back of my mind, whether I'm driving or whatever. Just, traffic, LA traffic's shit. I gotta be someplace in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm already 5 minutes. Well, no, I was supposed to be there 5-10 minutes ago. I look at the clock, and just keeping your mind right is living in a place of meditation. So that's how I keep my mental health in check.
How do you keep yourself
and lifting and working out? I think working out is huge. Dopamine, is huge.
So your body releases when you're working out? Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you stay
I've been on runs. I've been on runs and have my music going, and I've been crying. I'm crying like just tears coming down my eyes thinking about everything that I've been through in my life, and because I'm so driven. There's this one dang song. It was All the Above. Who does it? I forget. Talking about my pain, my struggle, this and that, and as I'm running at 4:30 in the morning, thinking about all that stuff, and that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's I can't. There's no words. It's just that says it all for me.
Would you say music is part of therapy for you too?
Oh yeah, music is a key period for me in my life. It's a key in my work. I use it to get me in emotional places, emotional states. Music speaks to me. I think it speaks to all of us really, but it pulls at my heartstrings.
Sometimes I listen to music and it's not even
words. It's not
even words. It's
not
just
words.
Like the chords or the melodies that just hit, right? And yeah, sometimes like something just like connects, and I'm like, like I've cried listening to music, and it's not even like a sad song. Like the lyrics aren't sad, but the way the chords hit just, connect. Do you have a go-to album that you listen to whenever you're about to you're driving to set or
depends on the character I'm playing. I'm actually still trying to figure out, do I even need music for this character right now for a flight attendant? Because I'm used to coming from, like I said, a place of vulnerability with all these characters, and there's just certain music that just, it speaks to me. Certain songs just speak to me, or I find an artist and it speaks to me. Usually without words. I usually just like instrumentals.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not looking for words. I'm just looking for something I trust my instincts. I trust what pulls at my heart, and that, that what gets me in that space of feeling it. And I haven't found that yet for this character. I'm not so sure that I even need it, but it's every different music for different characters. Sometimes and sometimes other stuff that has worked with another character does work with the same character. But yeah, to answer your question is, there's no specific song, but I do have, I guess, there's one or two songs that I could be like, okay, I put this on, or artists.
Who's that?
Max Richter is one. Johannesburg, I think, is another. They're composers.
Yep.
That the music is when I gotta go to some place, or for Gentefied, I definitely used Hermanos Gutierrez.
Mm-hmm.
Their music just for Eric. Yeah. I'm reflecting for a moment. Listening to their music just put me in the place where I needed to be.
Was it like was it just like Los Hermanos Gutierrez? Is it like just very traditional, like regional?
Yeah,
Mexican?
it's not more traditional, but definitely guitar strings are involved, and
kind of like norteñas, like old school.
No, not norteño. I don't even want to try to describe it and mess up the description. They see this and be like, oh, what the hell are you talking about? If you want to check them out, Hermanos Gutierrez, listen to their music. It spoke to me and it's very heartfelt.
Who else were you listening to for that role of Eric Morales?
Primarily them, man.
Yeah?
Primarily them. It hit right. It hit right every time. Different songs on their albums just hit right. It spoke to me.
I think that's really dope that you listen to music to depending on what your character is going through or it would listen to.
Yeah, it's
because I wouldn't think of that. That's awesome.
It's not so much about like what he'd be listening to at that time, but it's whatever's going on in that scene. That's okay. Like you ever feel like what's the soundtrack to your life? You ever think about that? Like,
yeah,
maybe you're walking down the street, you're feeling good, and you maybe got like Saturday Night Fever, you know, like
yeah.
You know, you're just walking through, and whatever's going on in your life, that's the right vibe. There's music that fit what I'd be listening to. That would be the soundtrack of my life, and it seemed to be the right thing because I hit up Marvin Lemus, the creator, and I'd be like, yo, I'm listening to this. And he goes, dude, I've been listening to them as I've been writing.
Wow.
No accidents, man. No accidents.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
For someone that is like a younger JJ, right? Mm-hmm. Wants to get into the business, doesn't know anyone in the business.
That was me.
Very similar, situation to you. What advice would you have for them?
I just wrote down. I just sent some advice tips for something else earlier today. First and foremost, okay, for you're talking about the industry, getting into entertainment or just specifically film and television. Always keep an open mind. Do whatever works. If that means running around a block 10 times to get you making you feel like you need to do that, like to feel right, to feel like you're where you're supposed to be, then do that. Always be willing to adjust. For example, there may be times where you may not like a note or something that a director gives you. What I challenge myself in is when I work with people that don't necessarily work the same way I do, I'm like, that's what makes me a professional. My ability to adjust and figure out how to get mission accomplished, right? Even though we may not be in the same, maybe they won't give me the freedom that I like, right? As I tell you, I really love my freedom. Sometimes I feel a bit restrained, and I go, all right, Jay, this is what makes you a professional. It's your job to make it work. So challenge yourself. Look at it from that perspective as you're going through the art. I think it's really important. I'm talking about stuff on set, but to value your whole team. It's not just about the actors. I think a lot of times, especially actors, can get caught up into just their ego and themselves. Remember that it's a team game. They say it takes a village, and it really does.
Yeah.
And it goes on even farther beyond the people that you see. There's people in post-production. There's a whole team, and you're just a piece of the puzzle. So to make sure that the whole team feels appreciated and valued, make sure you're communicating with your camera operators and the grips and the makeup and wardrobe. Obviously take the time you need to do what you need to do to prepare. But invest the time and energy to making sure that they feel valued and appreciated, because it's gonna serve you in the end. What else? Take risks. That's huge in regards to plain and simple. Stay true to yourself. Believe in yourself. Stay true to yourself. Don't go. This is really important with auditioning. Don't go into audition with your hands out trying to get something. How about going in? Like I say, I don't go into an audition to seek your validation. I don't need you to tell me I'm great. I already believe that. I'm going in to give you something. Remember I told you, like Blue Apron?
Yep.
You send me that, you're the creator of something, your
Yeah.
Blue Apron, you send me the ingredients, and I said, oh shit, I know what I can cook with this.
Yeah.
And I go ahead, I whip it up, and I bring it back to you. I bring you a dish.
Yep.
I come to the party, it's a potluck, right?
Yep.
I come to bring you something. I come bearing gifts. You know, maybe you may not like it. It's all good. You know, you may not like my gift. That's totally cool too.
But I'm giving.
There's 10 other guys that got gifts that gonna come in and do it and present what they got. But yeah, it's not. There's one early on in my career, there was a bit of that insecurity and trying to prove myself and wanting accolades and all this shit. I wanted to be recognized. But then once I truly owned myself and you grew up my craft and just growing as a man.
Yeah.
You know, learning more about myself. I was like, oh, I don't need all that. I don't need nothing. Listen, I'll take all the Emmys and Golden Globes and all that shit. I'll take it all.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for recognition. And even then, knowing that award for your performance is not just for you. It took a whole team to make that thing happen. There was someone on camera, there was someone on makeup, there was someone on lights, there was someone that wrote the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
editing, all that. Yeah.
They may be highlighting your performance, but that's still not just highlighting you. It's highlighting the whole thing, right? That's how I look at recognition for the awards. Shit, I lost my train of thought.
You say something very important in
about how I'm talking about how you go into auditions.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. Go in with something to offer. Don't go in to get something. So again, don't. It's not about what you can get. It's not. Listen, the paycheck's great. You know, all the stuff that comes with that is great. But don't focus on what you can get. Focus on what you can give. What you can offer that story.
Yeah.
It's way more powerful.
I think I see that often where, you know, everyone wants to be in entertainment, whether it's, you know, behind a camera, behind a microphone, whatever it may be. Entertainment is very competitive, but it's also, you know, something that a lot of people want to do, would like to do. Yeah.
I'll add to that. It's just that it's competitive. You make it competitive. It's art. It's subjective. It's subjective. So stop valuing yourself on how many roles you get or don't get. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a right fit. Listen, I don't want to be a part of a project if it's a multi-million-dollar project and I'm going to have a shitty time on it. Damn. Unless that paycheck better be good. That paycheck better be good.
Yeah.
Because I want to work with people that want to work with me and see my value.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to have a great time on the flight attendant. Because I saw there when I was doing the Zoom meeting, and I just watched them on how, just the vibe and how they spoke on the Zoom meeting and when they're shaking their head and agreeing with one another about certain things. I was like, oh, they're in sync. That's what made sense to me. And my vibe seemed to reciprocate it and fit and vibe off it. And I was like, oh yeah, I would fit in with this group. That's who I want to work with. I want to work with people like this. If you're standoffish or you're like, you feel like I got something to prove to you or something, then it's all good. You better pay me really well.
Yeah.
You better pay me really well. Because, I mean, that's another thing. Like, I know my value too.
I think it's also in the place that you are in your life. Like you recognize that. Like, was it like that 15 years ago, you think?
No, I grew into it more and more.
Yeah.
I grew into it more and more, speaking up, and maybe there was a time where I wanted to say something, but I didn't, you know? But yeah, I know my value and I know what I bring to, and actually, I think it's preferred now.
Yeah.
Right? My opinion and whatnot. And this doesn't mean you gotta take it. I'm here to give it. I'm here.
Right.
It's what I come to. The things you get from me when you hire me, my work ethic, and my energy. That's and my talent, right? Like I truly believe I change the energy on a set because I'm the biggest cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for everybody. I want to make that impact on so that everyone feels like they want to be there. And when you're working those 16-hour days or whatever and it's long, and I want to make sure everyone knows that they're appreciated. So not just, oh, call me when it's my turn.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely don't want to be the person people are waiting on.
Yeah. That really resonates with me with what you're saying about just being like fulfillment for you, because for me too, it's about creating. It's about peace of mind. Like before, yes, I wanted the gigs and this and that, but now I'm only taking gigs that are fulfilling and that will bring peace to my life, and I only have people around me that will bring peace to my life.
Dope.
Because it's I worked through 15 plus years of a corporate world, and honestly, man, I wasn't a big fan because it's a dog eat dog world. Most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time I encountered that it's just cold. It's cold, and I wanted, and that's why we created Hubwave. I said, you know what? I am going to remove myself from this, and I'm going to create my own culture and bring my own people and have peace when I walk in and become brothers. And
I say, can I interrupt you and just say, I'm proud of you for fucking believing in yourself. Excuse me. I'm proud of you for believing in yourself. So there's no beep in there. So I'm proud of you for believing in yourself, bro. Because by doing that, by believing in yourself, you're already creating change when people see that you believe in yourself. Oh, wait, if he could believe in himself, I could believe in myself too, right? Someone that sees himself in you, right? You're already implementing change, right, in their mind and giving hope that way. So by believing in you, you're already helping.
Yeah. Thank you.
So,
thank you, man.
shit.
My brother. Thank you. I am very similar to you in the sense of, if I can do it, you can do it too. Mm-hmm. If I can do it, you can do it too. I believe that 1,000%. I just posted a throwback high school photo of me and my my cap and gown, and I was 17, 18 years old in that photo, and I posted it on actually it's on my feed, and I posted it on my stories, and I said, if this introverted kid can make his dreams come true, so can you.
Amen.
Because all you have to do is believe in yourself, man, and you embody that.
Yeah, and I think I regressed in a way too. Like it's back to my childhood ways. Like so, and I say that actually as a positive thing. When you're a child, you're so flexible. You could bend like a little Gumby. You know what I mean? you believe you could do anything.
Yeah.
And over time, life kind of, through your experiences, influences, that you're limited. Like you're trained to think, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like, well, no, why not? Like, but you're like, why not?
Yeah.
So I was like, nah. I say I'm a big kid. I believe that's my talent is to believe, my ability to believe, my ability, right?
Yeah.
Because I knew I had an imagination too. Because kind of going off on a tangent, but like the kids who are my friends in my neighborhood were stealing my toys. Those are my friends. So I ended up having to play by myself a lot. So I would just my G.I. Joes and be in a sand ditch somewhere with my imagination. So like I just had to be able to believe or commit to whatever it was I was doing back then.
Now, this next section of the program is sponsored by Verizon 5G. It's 5G built right from the network more people rely on. 5G Ultra Wideband is available in parts of select cities, and 5G nationwide is available in 2,700 plus cities. Speaking of 5G, JJ, I want to talk a little bit about tech. What piece of tech would you say you use most?
Well, I mean, for an audition and stuff?
When it comes to anything, whether,
phone. I mean, camera, right? This.
How does that help you in like your career and what you do on a daily?
I guess it's convenience. I mean, one thing I do like about being able to just shoot let's say shoot yourself on tape. Is this good enough?
Yep.
Yeah. To be able to shoot myself on tape and then look at it and be like, okay, I'm happy with this. This is what I want to send. As opposed to like before where I had to go in the office and I don't get to check it. They're looking at it and being like, oh, that was it. I'm like, well, how do I know that? Like, I mean, that may be it for you, but not for me.
Right.
So I'd rather, again, I'm always going to bet on me. So the fact that I usually feel it too when I feel like that was the take usually before I even have to look at it. But just having that control is what I really dig. Back to the notes. If any other tips for your Zoom meetings, have your own reader in the room as opposed to doing it off of the Zoom person on the other side. At least from my experience, if I have someone there, it's more believable for me. It's more like I trust this person. As opposed to something I don't even know, you know.
You're saying reader in the same room as
Yeah. Have a reader in the room with you as opposed to waiting for them to have someone that you don't even know. You know, if you have to do that, then fine, adjust, right? Pivot and do that. But I think it serves you better to have someone in the room with you and not just going off of whoever they provide.
Do you self-tape using your phone sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. And I don't have no major setup. I have, like my homeboy said, because here I spend the money on a backdrop and all this, and I go, nah, man, I let my talent speak for itself. You know, I put my camera phone up, my busted up camera, and put the lights on and let the work speak for itself. Anything I do, like clothing wise, or I'll audition for a lawyer like this if I feel comfortable like in the character, but I'll put a suit on or something if that's what makes me feel like it more. I don't do it for them so they can see it, because you better have an imagination too. Like, why do I want to work with you if you don't have no imagination? If you can't see beyond what I'm wearing, how good is this project going to come out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I think. I'm like, they have to have some imagination.
You do it for you. You do it so that you can feel the character as opposed to, all right, here, I'm going to throw this on so it's believable.
Yeah.
Let me throw on this.
I hope they see it. No, man. If they can't see it.
What's next for JJ?
Flight attendant. We started on the 7th. It's starting the 7th, though. We're on that for the next few months. I got something else on the stove that we'll see if that pans out. If it's meant to be, it'll be. I got some things in the works. I got some projects I'm looking to develop myself. I also think I have a lot to offer this industry, right? Not just in front of the camera, but I believe I have the ability to produce, meaning I know enough talent behind the camera, in front of the camera for sure, and that I can start putting projects together to provide opportunities for others.
I love that, man. I know you're going to continue to kill it, dude.
Thanks, bro.
We have the rapid fire.
Oh, here we go.
With JJ Soria. I hope you're ready to go, man. We got a few questions for you. If you can just tell me your answers as whatever comes first, whatever comes to mind first.
Copy.
Ready to rock?
Let's go.
Favorite song to dance to?
Favorite song to dance? It's Montel Jordan. What's that song?
This is how we do
Yeah.
it. Oh,
I'm just bringing that one up because it's a good one. Come on, that one hits. This is how we do it, yo. This is how we do it. If you don't know that song, look it up. It's a classic.
Favorite Spanish word?
Cabrón. I don't know.
Cabrón. I have a very close friend of mine was on the show season 1.
Órale. I say that a lot. I say órale.
Órale. Oh, you text me órale today. DJ Sour Milk, who's a good friend of mine, he was on the show season 1. He calls his kids cabrón. Hey, cabrón. Cabrón. Fred, you say that from time to time too, right? Or DP? Hey, cabrón. Hey, cabrón. That's a good word.
You know, you brought up earlier, and I wanted to talk about real quick, is that like, I'm very watered down myself. Like, so, and I think it's something that needs to be talked about more. Finding a place to where you belong. That's another thing Marvin has a big issue with, the creator of Gentefied. I look like Spanish would be my first language. Matter of fact, it kind of was when I grew up. When my birth father was in my life, I started speaking Spanish first, right? And then the kids in the neighborhood used to make fun of me because I would speak Spanish, and got teased into like not wanting to speak Spanish no more. Mm-hmm. And then getting up and moving to the valley, the part of the area where I moved into, where it was primarily white, middle class, a lot different than El Sereno, right? And I was actually nervous because it was quiet. That spooked me.
What is this?
Yeah. So when I first moved over there, but yeah, just I guess what I'm trying to get at is to be comfortable in that, like knowing like you are Mexican enough or whatever you are enough, and be proud of that. And I feel a little disappointed. Listen, I take it Spanish 1, 2, 3. I've spoke some Spanish in projects. I got to do it a little more. But I think part of what holds me back is just the insecurity of being judged by it, by not knowing it.
Yeah.
So and maybe that's my own. It's up here. It's not even so much what others think of me, but there was a sense of like disappointment. So for all the other Latinos out there that are Mexican, Hispanic, whatever, that can relate with that resonates with, like, oh yeah, I feel the same way, I don't belong, or keep working on the Spanish, but understand that it makes you no less than anybody else. That's still you still be proud, you know what I mean? You can still be proud.
It's in you.
Yeah. It doesn't make you any less. Just
it's in your blood.
Yeah. And when you're being successful, they're gonna want to take credit for it. That's
True.
my people.
He's one of us.
He's one of us. Oh, where was that 30 years ago?
Well, I was a no sour kid 20 years ago. All of a sudden, now you want to claim me?
Yeah.
No, but you're right, man. I think that's a beautiful thing that you're saying, and a lot of people do feel out of place because maybe they don't speak Spanish at all, or and it's not even I hate to say it's one's fault, but it's not even the reason to not speaking the Spanish sometimes has to do with how you grew up, where you grew up.
Yeah.
We had a friend of mine, DJ Vice, who was here
DJ Vice
he's a good dude, man. He was saying that he grew up in a Mexican household, but his parents didn't want him to be bullied, so they only spoke English to him.
Yo, that's another big.
But he's 100% Mexican.
Yeah. They're trying to assimilate, right? You're trying to fit in against the norm, whatever was considered to be the norm. And you would actually, in hindsight, it's like, dude, you should want to know 3-4 languages, right?
Right.
That should be the goal. But you're just trying to focus on learning English and assimilate. That was the biggest. I think that was the thing with my grandparents, my mom's parents. They didn't teach their kids Spanish. My mom's parents didn't teach them Spanish, because they used Spanish as their secret language to talk about them or talk about stuff that they didn't want the kids to know about.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so the kids had to, my aunts and uncles and my mom had to learn Spanish outside the house from their friends.
That's hilarious.
So, then that passed down to me. I got this puro Mexicano father, and then my mom, who was born here, a Mexicana, but like she was born here, and put that together, and it's like I get the a watered down Latino, but I don't feel like I don't like saying that in the sense. I say it just to get the point across, but again, like I represent with I represent with the best of them.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. All right, let's
more question. So much for rapid fire.
That was the slowest rapid fire we've ever had here. Definitely a first here, JJ. All right. Best singer of all time.
Frankie J. Let's go with Frankie J, the homie.
Okay. Favorite Latino food dish?
Favorite Latino food dish?
Yeah.
You got to say tamales, right? I mean, it's hard.
Tamales.
Albóndigas is great. You can pick one. I can't pick one.
Albóndigas are pretty fire. They're underrated, for sure.
Yeah. Pozole is great. I mean, there's a bunch of great dishes. I can't pick one.
Are we talking like Rachel Ray pozole?
No. I'm talking about grandma's pozole.
Good. Just want to clarify there, all right?
Though Rachel Ray's might be good, but it's not my grandma's.
Yeah. Best song to play at a Latino party. Best song to play at a Latino party.
Anything Vicente. Chente. Anything Chente.
Do you have a favorite Chente song?
No, I don't have a favorite one.
What's one of your nicknames that no one really knows about?
People have always personalized. I mean, everyone knows JJ. I've been called JJ my whole life. Double J, there was this one. One of my nicknames, this girl I was seeing, she called me JJ Sexy. So I always liked that one.
JJ Sexy.
I was like, that's a nice ring to it. So everybody, you're more than welcome to call me JJ Sexy. I'll eat it up. I'll take it.
All right. Well, it was great to have you on the show, man. I appreciate you, brother. And like I said, man, I know you will continue to kill it in everything that you do. And it's one of those things when I see you, on the big screen, on TV, on Netflix, on anything, on my phone, which is I think is super cool. We can watch anywhere now.
Yeah, right.
It's always you're making us proud, dude. And we talked about representation, and you're definitely repping the right way, the best way, and awesome. Man, keep doing it, brother.
Likewise, brother. Oi. There we go.
There it is, man. Knocking down the set, but it's
break it
all
down.
in
Better get me out of here before I break it down.
But it's all in the it's all in the case of love. Yeah. JJ Sexy, thank you for coming. Appreciate you, and thank you so much for watching and listening to Mando and Friends, presented by Verizon.